You gotta have a niche on YouTube if you want to be successful. Do you though? Do you really? Because I don't really want to niche down. Do you? I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about this. I'm still pretty new to YouTube and social media. Now I've been on YouTube as long as it's been around. But it just seems like this is more of a recent thing where every other content creator who's telling you how to make content is telling you to pick a niche and stick with it. And it's just so freaking boring. Screw your niche, right? The idea behind YouTube initially was me and you TV. Just regular ass people in their homes talking to a camera or doing something, just whatever. People weren't picking niches back then. AI can go and pick a niche for you. It can also crank out a bunch of boring videos that I don't want to watch. When I go to a creator's channel, I'm not going to sit on a creator's channel who's only made 500 videos about one specific topic, like finance or gaming or movies and music. I'm going to bounce around between a lot of creators who are doing a lot of different things. And if I find somebody who, appears to be as well-rounded as I would want other people in my life to be, those are the creators that I'm going to follow. So I'm really struggling with this whole concept of niching down, only talking about one thing and kind of, only slightly veering out of that swim lane. I just find it restrictive and a bit frustrating. I'm fairly new to creating, and I'm doing it because I find myself with a creative urge. I think that's common with a lot of middle-aged people, perhaps. They find themselves with some new restless energy or, a hyperactive brain, whatever the case may be. And maybe they feel like they want to start creating. I'm seeing this a lot with the Gen X generation and mine. Millennials have been doing this for a little bit, but those sort of in-betweeners, middle-aged people right now, they're getting on these platforms and starting to create content. But they want to talk about their home life, their family, their kids, as well as their hobbies, whether it's gaming or finance or politics or news, whatever the case may be. I think that's okay. Now, I'm not here trying to give you any advice. I'm not even sure if this is advice that I'm going to take from myself. It's just a feeling I have. I'm seeing something new in the past 6 months on YouTube where it feels like more smaller creators are starting to take off. People who are just talking to the camera, not doing a ton of edits, not even doing super crazy thumbnails. It almost feels a little bit like old YouTube is trying to break through to us, maybe just a little bit. I've read and I've watched some videos that this is intentional, and it's a little bit of the YouTube's pushback against some of the AI generated slop that has not only hit YouTube but a ton of other platforms, and that's a good thing. It really is. I got really tired of seeing the same recycled thumbnails over and over and over again. I started getting pushed to other platforms where it was just people talking at the screen and being extremely relatable. That's what sucked me into YouTube in the past. And some of those OG creators who got really, really big in the early days, that's all they were doing. They were just talking to the camera. Informational stuff, sometimes ridiculous stuff. But it allowed you to connect with them, to have that weird little relationship that you get with somebody that you watch on YouTube or on TV or whatever the case may be. Those parasocial relationships, for better or for worse, they're real. That connection. And I think that connection is why a lot of people go on YouTube. Instead of just watching TV, watching something scripted, I would rather watch something completely unscripted. Somebody just riff into the camera. That's way more interesting to me than watching somebody read through a script, telling me how to do something. Now, I do go in search of that content, but it's when I have a very specific task in mind. Like if I'm trying to learn something new, whether it's from, doing something with my HVAC system at home or learning how to create a good thumbnail on YouTube, whatever the case may be, there are plenty of times when I go and I seek out that specific content. But this right here, what I'm doing right now, is what I am watching more often than not. I just like to, you like to watch somebody's progression too on YouTube. One of my favorite things in the world to do is to go to big creators and sort by oldest and watch their old stuff. Look for maybe the first time they put their face on camera. That's fascinating to me. And then to watch their progression over time, their progression, how they speak, how they interact with people, the types of videos they do and the content they do. And that is often, that often varies just as much as they do. It progresses and it grows. That's fascinating to me. That's the old YouTube. That's what drew me into the platform long ago. And that's what keeps me around today, when I find creators like that. So I think that's what I'm going to be trying to do here. But I'm still new. I'm still learning a lot. I hope you'll follow me along in this. And if you do, let me know if you start creating videos too. I think you should. If you've ever thought about it, just give it a shot. Turn the camera around and give it a shot. Let me know if you do, and I'll come and follow you as well. All right, I'll see you in the next one.